One of my core messages that I've been sharing with you guys on my journey in YouTube, which I figured out in my real life, is live below your means and try not to owe anyone anything, including your parents. A father who pays child support is doing his job. If a father wants to buy you a car or pay for your college, they're being a father. They don't have to, but if they choose to, after a certain age, they're giving you something. But many people, including your father, will hold something over your head because they're a controller and a manipulator. I've seen men get a divorce and ask for everything back. You know, when I cut my father out of my life, he asked for money, a few $1,000s that I owed him from years ago that I told him at the time, here's the money. And he says, no, I don't want this money back. I'm your father. I'm doing my job. But years later, when I did something that he didn't like, he asked for it back. Okay. And he has a pattern of behavior in his life with not only his children, but his relationships, to be a controlling, manipulative, nasty, deplorable person. And he voted for Trump. It's a certain type of person. Unredeemable because they're unrepentant. Even in the Bible, they said there's one sin. Jesus said this. There's one sin that's totally unforgivable. Blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. Not blasphemy against Jesus, but blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. That's the spirit of correction, of humility, of grace. Okay. What we saw today was a disgrace to every American. We saw a president who's been contentious his whole life, a pattern of behavior. Through his divorces, through his failed business ventures, through even his attorneys that he turned his back on when they couldn't do anything from him. Here we are under a national pandemic. 22 million Americans unemployed, 30,000 plus Americans dead. Okay. More than 9/11, more than the war in Afghanistan. And he mandated certain conditions that the states have to oblige to in order to reopen the country. And no state is ready for that. And he acknowledges that. He just released them. But today he tweeted to certain states that they should liberate themselves. Minnesota, Virginia, liberate yourself, basically stirring up contention and possible violence. He did the same thing a few years ago when that one lady died in like that riot because he incited the emotional response, which was no need for it. It's his only way to control. When a man has fallen out of your good graces, or a woman, and you no longer believe in them or respect them, they use control and manipulation, and they harness the emotional energy of the mentally unstable people to back them up. Blind loyalty is what is demanded from a deplorable person and anyone who stands with them. And let me tell you something. It is not okay to say he was a better choice and I just went with him, whatever. That's a bullshit answer from a bullshit person that has no integrity. Pattern of behavior. Gerald, go fuck yourself. That's what I tell you. Because you're out of here, man. I'm done with you, man. Don't want you in my life. And I know you gave me a lot of super chats, but I don't fuck with you. Same thing I told my father, man. Nope. Then go vote for him because you know who I am. You know I don't respect him, and I don't respect anyone who stands with him. That's it. Period. Go talk to his people. Go be in his crowd. The deplorables. The people that no matter what he does, like he made a reference to, even if I shoot someone on 6th Street, they'll still love me. That's the type of person you are. That's the type of person you are. And that's why I live below my means, so no super chat can control me. Guys, I don't want friends like that. Business is one thing. I don't want friends like that, man. Don't want them. Don't believe in them. Don't respect them. How someone, what type of leadership wants to divide a country when there was no need? No one, he issued the guidelines that no one is ready to adhere to yet. They're not capable. He acknowledges that. So why would you tweet something like that today? Other than to make me and Gerald fight, other than to cause division, that's fine. Because guys, look, that's fine with me. I make a stand, okay? I say I will not stand with this person, okay? I'll say that. Some people won't, and that's why no one respects you, okay? And that's why no one likes you, and that's why you only got a dog, period. Or you only got some ugly bitch who loves Rush Limbaugh, okay? If you got an ugly-ass bitch wife that loves Rush Limbaugh, I'm not surprised that both of you are together, okay? And you're a total disgrace to this country. That is just unbelievable what I saw today, man. And I know it's politics, and I know no politician perfect, but there's a disgraceful level, okay? A totally disgraceful level, unnecessary disgraceful level, for no reason. Liberate, that's like stirring up like Civil War type comments for no reason. When all of the country, that's the last thing you need to hear. Now, sometimes you gotta get people fired up. That's fine. But I see the type of personality someone would have to support that. I say, go fuck yourself, man. I'd rather vote for someone who has dementia and that would sleep the entire 4 years than someone who would basically, like a bully or like an instigator, would cause unnecessary harm to society just for his own personal glory. It's a fucking disgrace. It really is, man. It really is, man. You love your gun that much? Okay. You do love your gun that much, don't you? You're a fucking disgrace. Just like Jesus said, live by the gun, die by the gun. That's what Jesus said. That's what he said. Never forget it. Never forget what Jesus said. He said there's one sin that's unforgivable, and he said you live by the gun, you're going to die by it. Never forget it. And there's a lot of people, that's how they're going to die. They're going to die alone with their second or third nasty bitch wife, and she's going to be listening to Rush Limbaugh in the back, dying from prescription pills and cigarettes, and her husband that totally lost their relationship with their sons and their daughters because he holds gifts. Oh, I got you ventilators. Look, if you got a state ventilators, you don't have to be thanked. That's your job. Everyone in America pays federal tax. It's not your job. It's your job to get ventilators, man. I'm telling you, it's just a total disgrace, man. And that's my message tonight. I don't think any president is perfect. But I have to say, when there is disgraceful action, to incite these type of things for no reason, especially at this time, to me, is someone I would just never want to be around those type of people. And I guess in one sense, it's good to be a little bit divided because you see where people stand. Because I say, if they feel like that towards this type of man, how would they have felt during the women's movement or the civil rights movement or the labor movement? How would these type of people really feel? Because I don't know anyone that has integrity that would co-sign that type of behavior. I just can't see it. But I can see there are some deplorable people, unredeemable, unrepentant people, okay, that want to buy your good graces with money. And as soon as you don't do what they like, they're going to hold that over your head the rest of your life. The rest of your life, they'll hold it over your head because they use money to control people. They're doing their job, okay? You don't need to be thanked a million times for doing your job, okay? It's a disgrace, man. I hope someone right now just puts in a live feed that they love Trump or Trump 20, because I just can't wait to get another person out of my life. That's how I feel tonight. That's why, in one sense, you know what? I regret buying some property, but I'll never regret living simple, getting out of debt. So I don't have to be on the hook to someone like Trump or someone who just gonna hold money over your head the rest of your life. Because they're the controlling person. They ask for every gift back. They're just doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And if someone has if someone's an asshole, they use things as a form of control. And it's just upsetting. It makes me upset. But I move forward with my life. And I use it as an opportunity to eliminate more people from my life. Less is more, including people. Less is more, including people. And like I told you guys in the beginning of this pandemic, in an emergency, when times are rough, you see the best and the worst in humanity. You can't hide behind loving a dog if you got nastiness in your spirit. And anyone support that type of nastiness, I don't know what type of person you are. I do know what type of person you are. Not the type of person I want to be around. Never want to be around you. Amazing. But it's life, and life goes on with or without us. It'll always be like that. There'll always be people like that in the world. And that's why in one sense I would never bring a child into this world. Because there are people like that, and there are people who support people like that. Thank God for the good people that are willing to speak up, because guys, sometimes it's easier not to speak up. I really don't want to sometimes too, because there's more aggravation. But I say to myself, damn, if no one's going to say that this is wrong, then what the hell is it? I mean, life will never, progress would never be made throughout humanity. And like I said, these are the same people that would have been silent during the women's rights or civil rights. They would have been, I'm not going to say nothing. Fucking disgrace, man, to humanity. And they're the type of people that tell you stay positive. Go fuck yourself, man. It's a disgrace. A person who dodged the Vietnam draft, Donald Trump, is the biggest patriot in America. He disrespected John McCain, who served, and other people. He fired that one guy on the ship who wrote a letter because he had like his fellow sailorman dying. And he said he showed signs of weakness. We can't have that in the army. Bro, you dodged the army. You can't say nothing about the army. I'll never get it. But I guess I will get it. These are the type of people. This is what they live off. So, look, guys, am I talking politics? I'm talking politics because it's part of life. Okay. But really above that, like I started, that's why I want you always to live simple. I want you always to live simple as best you can and not be in debt too much. Because these type of people, they pray that you need them. Because when you need them, they will never stop holding it over your head. Whether they're your manager, your father, or your lover. They're a controller, they're a manipulator, and that's a deplorable type of person. Because they're never going to change. You could try to meet them halfway, but all you're going to do is cut half your soul and give it to them. Liberate yourself from the deplorable people. And there are some. There's one sin that's unforgivable. Okay. You're right, Norbert. You're right. You got to be very careful, man. And I remember I used to watch Hallmark movies with my mom, and she barely got out of that relationship with my father. And my father was a spiteful person. He could be nice some days and love dogs and act nice, but another he'd be fucking spiteful as hell. Nasty type of person. I'll never be friends with someone like that a day in my life. I'll live in my car the rest of my life before I ever be friends with someone like that. I mean, that's how sad. That's why I want to speak on tonight. It's that important to me. That important to me. And I want it to be important to you. Not necessarily about politics, but the type of people that you deal with and that you don't get in debt to. And now you got to be very cautious who you take gifts from. Because they'll never let you live it down. And you call them out. Like Cuomo called them out. Bro, by giving us ventilators, you weren't giving us a gift. That's your job. New Yorkers pay federal tax. Okay? We got the Federal Reserve buying junk bonds. And they gave the middle class people $1,200. That's a disgrace too. I don't want to talk about that. I already talked about it. Good to see you, Cameron. Here's a man who questioned, when he wasn't the president, he questioned Obama's birth certificate. But here's a man that hasn't even shown us his tax returns. What type of man is that? I could understand if he was a stand-up guy like, here's all my information. Can I see yours? He won't even show you all his. He's a fucking scumbag, man. He's a deplorable. I think Hillary Clinton was 100% emoji right. I really feel that way. Really feel it, man. It's a shame, man. I tell you, America's a disgrace right now, in my opinion. All we care about is Dow Jones average. That's it. That's it. Am I thankful for America? Yeah, but if you're thankful for it, you don't kiss the president's ass. You ask for reform. Okay? Because, guys, for me, making a video like this is really not valuable. Okay? I'd rather not be talking about it, to be honest with you. But why would you tweet, even if you didn't like Obama? He never tweeted like shit like that, like liberate this state, liberate, shit to go crazy about. Okay? You would just say, well, I don't like his policy. You know, he's too apathetic. That's fine. You don't like his gun policy. That's fine. Okay. You don't like universal health care. Fine. But for a president of the United States during a national emergency to be telling states to liberate themselves, which is basically saying start civil war for no reason when he's mandating that the states themselves comply with certain regulations and those states aren't ready to reopen. Why would you tweet that? Because he knows that this is the reaction he'll get. I tell you this, I hate to say it, but I'm going to be honest with you. To me, I look forward when people like him pass away. There's a scripture that says when nasty people die, the people rejoice. And that's true. Guys, will I cry when Trump dies? No, I don't wish death on him. But just like he didn't cry when John McCain died, I tell you, man, and John McCain did the right thing. He didn't invite him to his funeral. I tell you, I want to. Guys, these are the type of people you deal with. I don't wish death on them. I don't wish suffering. Even though Trump himself, when he heard that Mitt Romney may have the coronavirus, he went, oh, too bad. What a fucking disgrace, man. It's sad, man. I look at countries like Canada. Now, if Canada had Florida, I would live in Canada tomorrow. Canada's like, countries like Canada got universal health care. They're getting $2,000 per month. Their president, you say, is like passive, but the guy's at least got dignity, all right? They're not divided. They're not going crazy. You may disagree with him on policy. You don't like his personality. But to go out of your way to be nasty for no reason, there was no reason to be like that today. None. None. So, guys, it's a little bit of a rant today. And I stumbled through, but I don't care. It means that much to me. And at least I got to eliminate Gerald out of my life. And that was a blessing from the Lord. You can't buy my friendship with money. You keep your money, guys. Guys, don't super chat me if you're not on the same vibe with me. Because guys, I appreciate the tips, but you're not going to buy my friendship. And I'm telling you right now, if you stand with someone like that and you're not willing to speak up against him, guys, you're not my friend. We are on different sides of not just the aisle, but of life. You know what I'm saying? Guys, when I go to meet my maker, okay, I don't want to be known as a person who stood by Trump's side. I want to be known as someone who verbally opposed him. I didn't tell people to overthrow him. I didn't tell people to liberate as far as like commit, you know what I mean? But I guess I am saying liberate America through from Trump through voting. Okay. But look, is Joe Biden going to make me happy? No one's going to make me happy. But just the type of mindset that this person has makes me totally unhappy. And that's the voice of a country. We're supposed to be the greatest country. In a time of a national emergency, that's the last shit you need to hear. Yeah, I mean, to use that type of language, you're right, so today. It's like inciting civil war for no reason. Like, I don't know anyone, and I've seen people who are Republican out here and, everywhere in my travels East Coast. There's no one I see in the street, like, upset with each other. No one wants to be locked down. No one's pissed at each other. So for him to do some comments like that, it's for people who are quarantined in their house. They have horrible mental health and just to stir up nastiness. Okay. Do people rioting? Do we trust? Are people rioting? Guys, come on, man. Nah, it's something that doesn't sit well with me today. Okay. And that's how I feel. All right, guys, that's the message. I'll read the live comments. Click that thumbs up if you want. If you don't, I don't care. Fucking assholes. In orbit, good to see you, brother. How are you? Norma. Hello, Sam. Hello to you, Norma. Carrie, thank you for your love and support, Carrie. Shout out to Wisconsin. I'm sorry you guys are going through a little bit tough. But I think you guys are doing all right. Great to see you, Carrie. H5J. Hey, bud. How are you, brother? H5J says, forgive me for saying that name wrong. Something vaccines soon for all. Maybe vaccines for all? Carlos, what's up, brother? Happy Friday. It is Friday. Let's stay positive. I know there's a negative opening. But that's how I feel, and I need to share it because it's important to me. You know, I don't care. Live below your means, guys, the rest of your life. And even if you're going to go bankrupt, even if you're going to get your house repossessed, let them repossess it. I'll tell you this right now, guys. Owe a bank before you owe a person you know, whether they're in your family or a friend. Owe a bank before you owe a family and friend. Because that way, even if, God forbid, you get caught in a bad situation, you get laid off, like 22 million Americans are laid off right now. And instead of, like, you know what I mean? And God forbid you get laid off and, you know, look, you get caught behind the 8 ball, you don't have health care, and you get into an accident or something, and they're going to repossess something. Let them repossess it, guys. But never accept a gift from someone who wants something back from you. Ball and Thug, you're on fire. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Ball and Thug. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Look, guys, like, you know, I'm just trying to share what's in my soul. That's what's in my soul tonight. Thank you, Ball and Thug. I really appreciate the show of support, man. But, guys, like I'm telling you, never owe someone you know. You're better to have it repossessed than owe someone like Trump, man. Because it reminds me of an abusive, mentally unstable, nasty person. And it's just, I mean, it's a heartbreaking, to say the least. It's heartbreaking. Not liberating. You know what I mean? Not unifying. And not even just like, oh, that person's doing a bad job. It's deplorable. Like, you know, it's one thing to say, oh, I don't like this person, I'm voting for him out. But it's like another thing, what, you know, extra nasty for no reason. That don't make me happy. It doesn't. Thank you very much. LA girl. I'm sorry, Mr. Muddy. Uncle Arthur, great to see you, brother. Thank you for your comments. LA girl. I can't watch his press conferences. I agree. Thank God. Well, recently he hasn't been answering any questions, just saying what he needs to say, prepared statement, and then leaving. But guys, every time he goes off script, you see the real him. And in his tweets, you see the real him. He's always going to be like that too. He'll never change. He'll be on his deathbed, and I think one of the biggest mistakes Hillary Clinton said was to say he has good kids, because all his children that stand by and don't speak up against that type of behavior, they just want their inheritance and their blind loyalty. Guys, I stepped away from an inheritance because I would never stand next to a man like that. Never. Okay. I'll lose money before I stand next to a man like that. Never. I knew a girl who got caught up doing something illegal, and her boyfriend took the rap for her, and he went to jail for it. And so what this girl did was basically she sacrificed the rest of her life showing him blind loyalty and destroying her life and destroying her children's life. And what she can never understand is you don't repay someone with destroying your life. If someone did you a favor, that's a blessing. Say thank you, but you should only have to say thank you once. And to be honest with you, you shouldn't even have to say it. Because if someone does something, they either should just be doing their job or doing it because they want to, not to hold it over your head. And you don't owe your soul to anyone. You don't owe your soul to your parents, to your lover, to your president, whatever. Blind loyalty is the worst thing you can do. You're going to destroy your life, destroy your soul. And yes, what I feel. LA girl, preach. Thank you, LA girl. Chasing peace. Hello from Bordertown, New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. Hope you had a good day. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, Ball and Thug and everyone hanging with me. I mean, I know I stuttered a little bit through some of this because I'm a little bit upset, but I am thankful it's Friday. I appreciate Carlos saying that. And I'm just sharing, guys. I got to share because it's important to me. And above all the bullshit, like I tell you guys, just watch who you associate with. Watch how much debt you take on. And if you're going to owe someone, owe a bank and go bankrupt. But don't borrow money from someone, because this type of person that lends money, a nasty person. Damon, good to see you, and thank you for your comments yesterday. Laughing. Go off, Sam Wolf. I appreciate you backing me up yesterday, Damon. I read your comment, and I appreciate your support, brother. I do. LA girl, it's a disaster. It is. But overall, look, above like my rant, I see a lot of positivity. Whether it was Obama, whether it was Bush or whatever, for the most part in society, and I'm out in society more than most of the population, people are decent to each other. You know what I mean? Of all walks of life, whether it's police, low income, high income, for the most part in my journey, there's not people looking to hurt you. Okay, there's a couple exceptions. People are just trying to do the best they can. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know why a president, the highest position in the country, needs to tweet to states to liberate themselves when there's no need for that. Everyone is trying to follow the guidelines that the federal government issued by the president are instructed to follow. Are you saying now you want people to stop following those guidelines? No state under the guidelines is ready to open today. Okay. Now, maybe in 2 days, yes. But to me, man, I got to speak on it. That's all I can say. Let me continue to read. LA girl, he thinks he's in a game show, Sam. Well, he is a narcissist. I hate to use that word because I know it's overused, but it doesn't matter to him whether it was his company, whether it was his 3 marriages, whether it was his failed business ventures in Atlantic City with his casinos that went bankrupt, or whether it was just with his lawyer, that when he got elected and then his lawyer got investigated, he turned his back on his lawyer. He turned his back on his ex-wife. Guys, he's the type of guy, as soon as you don't blindly support him, or as soon as you don't give him what he wants or praise him, he basically tries to belittle you or incite violence. And then say, I didn't incite violence. Guys, by tweeting what he tweeted today, he incited violence. And there was no need for it. And that's a disgrace. Hey, Jake, Bullet. Thank you, Jake. From Florida. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Sorry, Sam. That's okay. You're just living your life. You don't owe me an apology. Love to you also. Sam for president. I appreciate that, H5. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough job, and I give everyone. Guys, over the course of 4 years, there's been times I try to be very fair to Trump at times. I mean, I lean my own way, but it just gets to a point where you just can't support the guy. You can't, man. But I understand that it's not easy to be a president. It's not easy to be a leader, not easy to be in public, because you're never going to make everyone happy. However, when you become abusive and nasty, I don't care who you are, you're not a leader. Thank you, brother. From Florida. They said that we have to stay quarantined until 2022. Well, no one said that, but I appreciate that. No, that's not true. Uncle Arthur Fire and Pound. Thank you, brother. LA girl. President Bone Spurs. Guys, to me, it's total hypocrisy that Trump in 2020 is the biggest patriot when he dodged a draft and never served the army. I know people who served the army, and guys, they're nowhere near the mindset of him. So I don't know where he gets it, especially like he mocks people that are actually in the army. To me, he's just pandering to his crowd of deplorables. And I hate to say that, but it's true. In orbit, Trump is the kind of guy, if he gave you a gift, he would brag how much he paid for it over and over. You're totally right, in orbit. It's like an abusive father. It's like the father your mother divorced because he was a controlling asshole. And as soon as your mother divorced him, he asked for everything back. He hung everything over his kids. Like, bro, if you pay child support, you owe that because you had unprotected sex. And if you decide to give your gift, give a gift to your kids, that's you giving a gift. Don't even accept that gift from your father. Cut him the fuck out of your life. That's what I say, because he's a fucking scumbag. I hate to say it. He's going to die a scumbag. It's true. Cameron, I appreciate you, brother. I love you. Shout out to Kansas and the Kansas City Chiefs. One of my favorite channels. One of my favorite teams. Stanton, new to the channel. I love it. Well, I appreciate that. I do. I talk about a variety of things. I get mixed into politics a little bit. because it's part of life. I don't dodge politics, sex, or religion because it's all part of life. But above all else, I preach living below my means, living below your means so that you're not controlled financially by people, because when you are, that's how they treat you nasty. Thank you for the compliment. LA girl, I agree. I thank you, LA girl. LA girl, because it's not real life to him. It's a shame. He thinks on a game show, reality, for the ratings. I totally agree. Guys, and he is the wealthiest president ever, the most elite. He is the deep state, okay? He has lived his whole life privileged behind locked, gated communities. Okay? He is not a middle-class man. No one in his family was ever a middle-class man. He never had anyone to answer to. He never had a superior. To me, I don't understand. Well, I do understand how people will vote for him, because he panders to the emotionally unstable and the people who have no one else in their life, because everyone else left them because they're just like him. My only solace, my only hope is that I remember that the vast majority of Americans voted for Hillary Clinton. Trump won by electoral vote, but the popular vote went to Hillary Clinton, just like with Bush in 2000. The majority of Americans in a democratic nation voted for Al Gore and Hillary Clinton. But through the electoral process, George Bush and Trump won on a technicality. And even if Trump wins again 2020, my biggest hope is still that then you're going to get AOC or someone who takes us down a completely different direction in 2024. Because, guys, if you don't think 22 million unemployed with 32,000 dead is the lowest we can go, vote him back in. Okay? Because he had the memos on his desk in January. And look, guys, I wouldn't blame him. In the beginning of this, I tried not to blame him. But now he's blaming governors. Guys, you know what I mean? Like, I tried to give him, look, I told him, look, this one was a hard one to call. Now, but come to find out, he had a lot of information. Okay, but he took a risk. He said this was all going away in April. Didn't happen. He was wrong. Okay. But I gave him grace. But now he's talking about, we got to liberate from the oppression. What? You're the one that got us into it. Now you're blaming governors? He takes no accountability. He even said in his press conference, I take no responsibility. What a lack of leader. So it's just really a disgraceful thing. It really is, in my opinion. Blanton, I love you. Sam, you are the ultimate truth speaker. Well, thank you, Blanton. I love you. I love your videos, man. I love the man that you are. Young man. You'll be a great man. You'll be a great leader. Like I say, I thought you were a great guy the moment I saw you, and you did a video just saying, look, I'm a young kid that's trying to work, and I try to treat people fairly. Like, I watched Blanton's first video. The bottom line was, I'm just trying to do the best I can. I try to treat people fairly. That's the essence of the gospel. So I say, I rock with this guy. He's a good guy. I don't care if he's atheist, Republican, Democrat, because I didn't know at that time. He just basically a good guy. Okay. But, so he's the future. Okay. But if people like that don't speak up, what you get is a loudmouth deplorable. A bully. And I dealt with bullies when I was young. I try to avoid fights. But there's sometimes you can't avoid it. And you got to punch them in their face. Now, but I don't preach violence, and I don't preach it now. But metaphorically speaking, speak with your vote, man. Not with your gun. Okay. I'd say America is really, I think, to me, at its low point. I really do. I think America has really fallen far. Well, I can't even say it's fallen far. Because, look, America started on brutal oppression and, like, a total manipulation. It was really only in the 50s and 60s, 50 years ago, that women and minorities were able to balance shit out a little bit. And we were starting to go in a better direction. And then Trump took us back to before 1950. And some people want to go back to before 1950. There are. It's true. That's what they talked about when they talk about Make America Great Again. They want to go back to before 1950. That's what their mindset is like that. It's sad. But when you hear someone go back to the Civil War type mindset, that's the type of person you're dealing with. I would never want to be friends with them. I don't care if it was my father. I had a father like that. I would cut him out of my life. I'd rather die alone than live with someone like that. So, am I telling other people to cut your own father out of your life? I would. But you have to do whatever you want. I don't tell people how to invest. I don't tell people how to live, but I got to share my life. And when I tell you, I'd never fuck with someone like that. There's not enough money in the world, man. And that's how I strip my life down to the bone, man. I own nothing. I own one bag. I live in my car. So to me, other than my health, I don't give a fuck. You know, I mean, you got to have money. And, you know, I believe in working and being productive. But, you know, I think of all the people that they can never speak up because they're in a controlling, abusive relationship. Or they're in over their head financially and they can't tell someone like, look, I don't like you. And that's sad. It's a sad way to live, man. It's not a liberating way to live. You know, the hippies tried to liberate America. Now, they went too far with their drugs and everything. But why did they try to liberate America? Because Vietnam, the war that Donald Trump dodged the draft, look it up, it's fact. The country was tired of this social way of governance through the federal government, through Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the federal government. Right now he is. He's the head of the federal government. And he's telling you that you should liberate your state from what? From him? Because he's the one setting the rules right now. And see, what he's trying to do is just spark the emotion. And he's doing it. Because I'm going to speak on it. And I'm going to tell you, throughout your life, even when Donald Trump's long, the best part about America, there's still one great thing I'll say, is that no matter who you like, you can't serve more than 8 years. Okay, so even if Donald Trump gets elected again, you can't serve more than 8. I love that. I don't care if it's Obama, Trump, whoever, you can't serve more than 8, and I love that. Because that's how life should be. But even him, he didn't drain the swamp. You know who spoke today? During his press conference, the Secretary of Agriculture, the farmers who get subsidized by the government. They were thanking Donald Trump for more federal money bailing out the farmers. And then Trump said, oh, we want to thank our Secretary of Agriculture. Do you know he was an 8-time federal worker in Georgia? And the only reason he isn't with them again is because he ran out of term limits. So we snatched him up and we brought him to Washington. He didn't drain the swamp. Who's Michael Pence? He's the swamp. He's been in Washington for years. Total yes man. Okay. So let's continue. I think Trump will start a new civil war. I don't think he will. I don't. Because I see the majority of people getting along under Obama and under Trump. But even and there's times I really disagreed with Obama and how he handles situations. But I never saw Obama tweeting things to incite or to, what's the right word? I never saw Obama tweeting things to instigate riots. Okay. And what I saw today was exactly that. Instigating riots. For a reason that to me is totally baffling, because he's setting the standard as the head of the federal government on what standards you want states to follow. Total disgrace. Ellie girl. Delaying people's stimulus checks so his name can be on them. Narcissist. And to me, I don't care if he plastered his name on those checks. I'm not upset with that. I'm upset that there were only 1,200 and the Federal Reserve put trillions into the stock market and are buying junk bonds, and they gave them working class and lower class $1,200 one time. And they didn't even want to give you that. So it's a disgrace. And then he goes, we are real people who are suffering. I agree. It's a game show. Guys, before the virus, 70% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. Okay. After the virus, we got 22 million people unemployed. And he's tweeting about liberate the country. Guys, if you're so concerned about the economy, why did we give trillions to corporations and not trillions to the people? Okay. So you should be saying, as the federal government, look, the states are not ready to open yet. They may be in a couple days. I'm going to make sure we get this economy going by giving money to the people. They didn't do that. It's total disgrace. Cameron. Sad thing is Trump versus Biden. Yeah, I don't care if Biden is brain dead. I'll vote for him. Why? Because his policy is better than Trump's. That's the same reason I voted for Hillary Clinton. Her policy was better than Trump's. I believe that Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden was Obama's vice president. And I believe in the direction Obama was taking us, okay? Because when Obama left office, guys, everything was going good. Stock market was good, even though to me that's a total like non-thing. Bottom line is, I agree that the federal government's job, okay, is to provide basic services to the people, okay, not to the corporations, okay. And outside of that, their job is to fill the gaps for the states to keep everyone united, okay. Like I say, to me, it's a disgrace that America is the only first world country that doesn't have universal health care. And that here on a national emergency, we're talking about liberating states. I'm totally baffled. And I will vote for Joe Biden, not because just because I believe in his policy better. I believe in the direction of universal health care, increase the middle class, tax the corporations, or even if you do none of that and you keep all the policies that are on the books, during an emergency, don't instigate a riot. How about that? How about if you continue to give tax cuts to the wealthy to go in debt, you buy junk bonds from the stock market, you give the people $1,200, and at the very least, you just keep your fucking mouth shut when there's a national emergency. If you can do that to me, you're better than Trump. So I'll say it again, guys. If you want to be part of this channel, be yourself. But if being yourself means standing with Trump, you're not my friend. I'm not trying to bully you. I'm trying to tell you, that's how I feel. Okay. I don't want to manipulate you. I don't want to hurt you. I want to tell you right now, so we don't spend 10 years of our life wasted on each other. I would vote for a brain dead robot before I would vote for Trump. I would vote for a squirrel before I would vote for Trump. So to me, if the argument is I don't like Joe Biden, then guys, look, this isn't the right channel for you. And look, I don't even think Joe Biden's the savior. What I'm saying tonight is, look, I don't give a fuck what you do. I am just standing against this type of man, okay? This type of mindset, okay? Vote for whoever you want, but don't let me know if you're voting for Trump, because I don't want to know. I just want to let you know that there is a type of person out there, a controller, a manipulator, a nasty, fucking deplorable type of person. And I don't know if there's a lot of other better options in life, but I know this. I'd rather fucking be in my car by myself than next to a man like that. So I hear the argument of I don't like Joe Biden, I don't like Hillary Clinton. But I'll tell you right now, it's not a good enough argument for me to stand with Trump. It's not. And it wasn't in 2016, and it won't be in 2020. And beyond the election, because guys, to me, I talk about politics maybe a little bit more now. It's follow me. I don't give a fuck. I do what I want. But to me, I don't spend most of my time in life thinking about who's going to be the president. Because like I always tell you guys, no matter who the president has been in life, I've gone to work. I've been productive. I've done what I need to do. And I'll do that if Trump gets reelected. But I'm making the point tonight that there's certain type of people that you have to ask yourself, do you want in your life? And I'm telling you right now, if you stand with Trump, I don't want you in my life. Period. And that's all we're at. Ball and Thug, thank you again, brother, for your grace. Man up. Buenos nachos. God bless you, man. God bless Spain. Thank you, man. I think that every country should protect people's life and health. Guys, I think universal health care is a basic right. Basic health care. I mean, Canada, to me, I fucking got Brent and all my people from Canada, man. I'm telling you right now, if there was warmer weather in Canada, man, if Florida was in Canada, I'd be out, man. Because I don't understand America, and we're supposed to be the wealthiest country. We're the only industrialized first world country that doesn't provide basic health to its citizens. We love corporations, but not the people. There's no deep state. There's a corporate state. And I love corporations. I think they should do great. But I think there's enough money. Guys, Canada has a great economy. I think there's enough money in the world that we print. By the way, we print money. That, you know what? You could have basic health services without holding it over the people's head, and you can still have a great economy. It's true. Let's continue to read my man. He goes, public health is a must in the modern world. I agree. Big hug, no man. Shout out to Spain, man. God bless you and thank you. Steve, it's so sad many nurses and doctors, etc., are risking their lives to help people while the president scums himself. I agree. Thank you, Steve. Not just them, but how about the people at Walmart? How about the people at the gas station that I'm in right now? People who work at Walmart are working class. Not lazy drug addicts. Working class people at Walmart and the gas station have no health care, are getting paid poverty wages, and we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck about them. I mean, to me, it's the ultimate. The country is a disgrace. I really do think that way. I mean, to me, that's what they should be tweeting about. How are we going to increase for the working class? But they don't care about that, guys. They only care about the Dow Jones average. They only care about the stock market. That's all they care about. I think I will go down in saying this. I think if the country ever does collapse, it'll be because of the stock market. I have no problem with the public markets. I think they're a fine part of society. And I'm not saying they should be demolished, but I'm just saying we're at such a point now where the stock market controls everything we do in society. Everything. And if at some point we don't detach from the Dow Jones, we are going to worship and die by the almighty dollar. And I think that's the road we're going down. And nothing wrong with, I don't know, man. We're out of balance. We're out of balance, man. Continue to read. Luke, hey, my man, positive vibes. I appreciate that, brother. We're just cleaning house tonight. I can't wait to clean more house. Makes me excited. Franco, so refreshing to hear a voice of reason, Sam. Why? I appreciate that. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. Franici. I appreciate that. I know these topics, and I know I stuttered a little bit tonight, like I said, because I'm a little bit upset. I got to be honest. I know these topics will weed out certain people in my life, and that's why I do them. Because just like I got rid of most of my stuff in my life, I don't want certain people in my life. I don't. At a financial loss, I don't want them. It's not the way I want to live. Guys, life is hard enough. I don't want a certain type of mindset in my life. I don't want them lurking. I don't want them pacifying me. I don't want them. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to see bad things happen to them. I don't want to incite riots. But I'll tell you today, when I saw those tweets about states should be liberating themselves, I said, what the fuck is that about? No reason for it. No reason for it. And that's why I got to speak on it. Because, guys, I don't wake up and say, oh, I want to do a political video today. I only do a political video if I feel there's something that needs to be said. Because I'm not a political junkie. I'm a Latino MILF porn junkie. A stepmom porn junkie. That's true. I'm not going to lie about that. But one of the biggest lessons I learned with my father, that people don't change. They don't. I hate to say it. And I rather just get them out of my life right now. I don't want to waste another day of my life. I don't. And I don't want to be friends with someone that one day they act like they're doing you a favor for the love of our friendship of our country, and then the next day they hold it over your head. Guys, never accept a gift with strings attached. Like I said, I remember with my mom watching Hallmark movies, and a lot of them are about like women who got divorced from abusive husbands. And these women, like, I remember this one, CBVT here, I remember this one show was this girl got divorced and she went to like South Carolina and she bought like a little tiny house in the middle of the woods to clear her head and to get away from her abusive husband, ex-husband. And then she met some new guy. And the new guy like gave her a bike or something. And she didn't want to accept it. And the reason she didn't want to accept it is because that's how every unhealthy relationship starts, when people start to give you gifts with strings attached. I remember breaking up with a couple girls, and I remember one girl saying to me, she goes, "Sam, do you want back the gifts that you gave me?" I said, "No, I don't want them back. I gave them to you." You know, I have no respect for any man that gives a gift and then asks for it back. No respect. If you're an adult. Now, if you're a kid, I understand that. We're all kids. But I don't want to be friends with you. I'll let you know right now. That way you can leave. But see, most people with that mindset, they won't leave. They'll stalk you, and that's why they have a restraining order against them. My father had a couple restraining orders against him because guys, people like that, people with a restraining order, they shouldn't be able to vote because they're mentally unstable. They're deplorable. Infinity 1999. People are messed up in the head sometimes, Sam. I love you, Infinity. Thank you. I don't mock the mentally ill. I think all of us have, but I do speak against the mentally ill who have guns and who vote with their mental illness. Guys, if you're mentally ill, if you have a restraining order against you, you shouldn't be worried about voting. You should be seeking help. And thank you, Infinity 1999. Thank you. It's sad, man. And I'm not even going to say it's mental illness, because I know some people, even on YouTube, they have a mental illness, but they're great people. You know what I mean? They may not be like, and they don't have to be. They may not be like a Wall Street broker. They may be on SSI, some of them, but they're great people. Now, some people, they may be on SSI or they may be a Wall Street broker. They have a mental illness, but they're nasty people. So to me, it's not about a mental illness. It's about what type of person are you? That's what I care about. Infinity, another one, 199. Totally agree how they got guns. Guys, look, I'm all for it to have a gun to protect your right. I'm all for that. But if you've been diagnosed with a severe mental illness and you have a restraining order, you should never have a gun. You're not mentally ready to, you can't handle a breakup. Guys, if you can't handle a breakup, how can you handle a weapon of mass destruction? There was another lie that this country told us. Look, guys, I do have hope, man. And I do realize we're better off than we are years ago. But I really felt, and I still feel it. I felt it when Donald Trump got elected, and I said it then, I'll say it now. Our country took a step backwards. Just by his slogan, it's proven. We tried to make America great again. Okay? We tried to go back in time. And some people of his supporters, they want to go back in time. Okay? Before women rights, before civil rights, before labor rights, they want to take our country right back to when Donald Trump dodged the draft. And I can't understand how he is the biggest patriot in America. I can't understand it. I can't understand how he has the authority to fire a naval ship officer who tried to get help for his other Navy people. And Trump said he was weak. We can't have weakness. Bro, you didn't even serve in the army. Don't tell me about weakness, man. But the best part about this country is every 8 years, no matter who it is, they're out of here. And I like that part. Let's continue to read. Another person I can get rid of. Bro, just remember, if you ever have a YouTube channel, someone comments negative, remember, they spent time watching you. They clicked on your channel. They wrote a comment because they want you to like them. And you not liking them hurts their feelings. So they lash out. And that's why they have a restraining order. And that's why I blocked them. And that's why they love Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is their only friend. That's why Donald Trump said he could commit murder on 6th Avenue and they'd still support him. Because everyone else abandoned them. And Trump said, I'll support you, but you got to give me blind loyalty. You got to sell your soul to me. Guys, I'll never sell my soul, man. I blocked someone tonight, gave me a super chat almost every time they came in here. I blocked my father, would have gotten inheritance. I don't give a fuck. I ain't going to worship the dollar bill, man. I'll work for it. I'll DoorDash. I'll work for a corporation. I'll pump gas. Guys, I am not going to sell my soul to some asshole. Never. Not going to happen. I'll strip. I think stripping is more legit than keeping a father in your life or keeping some YouTuber on your life because they're going to give you money. And if I strip, and if you got a Donald Trump hat on, I ain't stripping for you. That's how I feel tonight. To me, I get excited when people expose who they are. Because what I learned is people don't change. They don't. I hate to say it. They can, but they don't. You got to realize, guys, don't waste your life chasing waterfalls. It's sad, but it's true. Let's continue. Mr. Smith, love to you, brother. Love to all my truckers. I saw Trump had the truckers in the front of the White House the other day. Guys, I've been doing videos about truckers, okay, since before when the epidemic first hit, out in a truck stop. I was sleeping in my car in the same truck stop as truckers, okay? So I don't need some other president who has never slept in their car, and someone just mocked me for sleeping in my car, and he's going to tell me that Donald Trump can relate to truckers more than me. Guys, Donald Trump was born wealthy, sleeping in Trump Towers, sleeping in Mar-a-Lago. Guys, I've slept in rest stops with truckers, middle-class working Americans, okay? I don't need Donald Trump to give me a lecture or some YouTuber about the middle class or about, the regular people in life. I don't need it, okay? Don't need it. Because I've actually lived a life, okay? Let's continue. Mr. Smith, forget Dems and pubs. I'm not going to forget them because on average, I agree with Democrats more. And Republicans, the South Carolina one who said $1,200 a month is going to make you lazy. And all the Republicans who are standing with Trump right now, I do say that, look, Democrats are corrupt too. But I tend to vote Democratic because I believe in overall their philosophy. I think Nancy Pelosi is nasty. However, I think Trump is nastier, okay? And I do think Democrat and Republican matter. You only got two choices, guys. Guys, if you go to McDonald's and they say you got two choices, a Big Mac or chicken, guess what, guys? Even if you don't like either, you have to choose, okay? Even if you don't like Biden or Trump, you got to choose. I chose, and I ain't fucking with Trump, okay? Give me that Big Mac without the Trump, okay? Guys, look, I wish we had a million choices, but you don't. So what do? You got to make a choice. I wish that you were neither lukewarm, but either hot or cold. Choose one or the other. What used to make me upset sometimes with my mom was there would be a fight among siblings, and she would try to play neutral because she was a loving mom, just trying her children to get along. I said, Ma, you got to choose. I said, you know what I mean? You can't you got to say what's right, what's wrong. So guys, look, I think it's all a game. I do. But I choose what's best. Okay. And I make a stand. That's how I feel. Let's continue. He goes, I am tired of the system. I hear you. It's like Congress has done for 50 years and make empty promises. Look, Trump, guys, Obama tried to get universal health care. He passed a bill to cover pre-existing conditions. Trump did not replace it. The only legislation Trump passed was to lower the tax rate for corporations. The middle class tax cut is going to expire in 10 years, in 8 years now. So guys, it matters that Obama focused on healthcare reform. Trump focused on corporate reform. That matters. That's fact. That happened in the past 10 years. Okay. So guys, look at where we are at the end of the first term under Trump versus under the first term under Obama or under the first term under Clinton. Guys, look at the presidency legacy of Clinton and of Obama. Then look at the legacy of Bush, Trump, and the first Bush. They're the ones that caused a recession. They're the ones that got us into war. They're the ones that tend to lean towards big money. That's fact. And they suck the people in with guns, with liberate yourself. And that's what it is. Guys, you love your gun more than you love God. Let's face it. Because what did Jesus say? You live by the gun, you're going to die by the gun. That's what Jesus said. So don't claim you're Christian either. Claim you're an atheist. Claim that you love Trump, you idolize him. Expose yourself for who you are, the Judas. That you love gold and you love your gun. And you don't love God. Expose yourself. Because that's who you are. You stand with Trump. That's who you are. Let that be fact on your judgment day, who you stand with. Type of person you are. Type of relationships you have. Let's continue. Michael, glad you're feeling better. Thank you, brother. Anyhow, I appreciate that. I'm thankful for my health. I was sick past couple of weeks. Maybe I had the coronavirus. We're still waiting for the test. Thank you, Trump. What role, if any, do you think Bill Gates is playing in all the current pandemic? I don't know, man. I've heard the conspiracy theories. I've seen the YouTube video that he did in 2015 on TED Talk predicting a possible pandemic as the next natural disaster to come upon society. Right now, I have no factual evidence to show that Bill Gates is behind anything sinister. And every time he has spoken, it's been of reason and of science. I never saw Bill Gates say something illogical, irrational, or harmful to society with regards to vaccines or health. Now, if I see him say something I disagree with, I will speak on it. Just like I was speaking on Trump tonight. But everything that I've personally seen to date was based on a level of common sense, okay, before the science, just common sense, reason, logic, and science. And it didn't seem outlandish. So again, like I said, I already got a vaccine for measles when I had to go to public school. Most people, if you ever went to a public school, you had a vaccine for measles and maybe polio or whatever. It's mandatory. It's been mandatory. So I think it's good that people are questioning everything. But as of now, I have nothing to say why I would hate on Bill Gates. Thank you for the comment. Let's continue. Chris, the whole two-party system is a total scam. To a certain extent it is, but you have to simplify things. Like I say, because people will... What's the difference between a laser and a light focus? So I would like to see a third party, but look, guys, look, Ross Perot tried to vote independent. Or tried to run as an independent. That didn't really work. So I'm not mad if someone wanted to run as an independent. But you pretty much, you got to choose, guys. I wouldn't be mad if someone said, Sam, I want to reform the government and get 3 parties or 4 parties. I wouldn't oppose that. I wouldn't. But at the same time, I have to deal with reality. So if you say, Sam, you got to choose between Hillary Clinton or Trump, who do you choose? I chose Hillary. If you say, Sam, you got to choose between Biden and Trump, who do I choose? I choose Biden. I wish there was better choices, but I have to choose what I have to choose from. And I'll tell you this right now, I would choose a dead squirrel above Trump. Because to me, I try to be fair to him. Guys, to me, if he would have went, I would have had no problem. And there's times where I see Trump talk where I know he's able to do it. I know that he can be a reasonable man. But he always reverts back to the true man he is. Okay? Which is when he doesn't get his way or when he wants something done, he'll do it by any means harmful to society necessary. Okay? And I don't agree with that. And that's why I don't fuck with him. Fun fact, the taller opponent has, he says the taller opponent has win every single popular vote in the presidential election except Trump. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess because tall means like of stature and stuff like that. That's interesting. Chris, he went back to 1984 stealing Reagan's Make America Great Again slogan. Guys, yeah, thank you for that. Look, Ronald Reagan is responsible for the crack era. That was the controversy with Oliver North when basically America under Reagan funded illegal drug trafficking to arm renegade rebels to fight in South America. Okay, total disgrace. Okay, that's how. So also, he left the country in a recession when Reagan is the reason that Social Security got increased a couple ages later. You used to be able to collect Social Security at a younger age, but he increased the age you can collect it because he put tax cuts in for the rich. He increased our deficit. Okay, it caused a recession. And so once you take those benefits away, it's hard to ever get them back, and we never did. He broke up the unions. He broke up pensions, replaced it with 401k. You take all the risk. The middle class has been shrinking since Reagan. And all presidents, including Clinton and Obama, have to take issue with that. Because I think they should have even done more. Okay? And you got to stop pussyfooting around. And you got to just go after what you need to do to make good change. It's not easy, though. Ain't no one going to give it up easy. Giuliano, shout out to Australia. Love to you. I think Australia's doing it better than America, too. America's got the most deaths for the coronavirus. And we basically taking care of people less. Giuliano? She says, received a phone call from my mom in an aged facility. That's the very tough thing. She couldn't tell me how she would stop COVID-19 entering the facility, other than taking temps of the employees of their shift. Good comment. That is the saddest thing right now of the people in the senior citizen facilities. It's very sad. And they can't even have their children visit them. The only way we're ever getting out of this pandemic long term is testing, and eventually a vaccine. That's it. So it's a sad situation. I think about that often. I'll be praying for your mom and you. I've been in New Jersey for about a month. I haven't hugged my mom. I saw her once. I saw her twice. I saw her again today. But she's scared to come within 10 feet of me because, guys, she's elderly, she's overweight, and she's got diabetes. If she gets sick and going to the hospital, I'll never see her again. That's a scary thing, man. So you got to pray for the elderly, man. Hank, what's up, brother? Okay. Then you can go to another channel, man. You don't have to come here. Jay Bird. Give me a squirrel 2020. Jay Bird, you can stay. LA girl. Appreciate you speaking the truth. I have to be me. LA girl, and I appreciate you appreciate me. We are on our own, and it feels like Americans have to stick together. I agree. Take care of each other. Guys, I didn't wake up today and say I wanted to do an anti-Trump video. I had no desire to. I was thinking about porn. I did a video for my girl Showgirls and her daughter who ran away because that touched my heart. But then I got to look, and I got to see that Trump's inciting riots. He's telling people to disobey the same protocol he put in place with the federal guidelines. What type of man is that? What type of leader is that? And then what type of people support a guy like that? That's what really makes me look at what type of man or woman would support a guy like that. That's scary, man. And I say, these people, I don't want to be friends with them. Because I say, why would you support someone like that? Because you rather vote for Trump than a squirrel? Guys, I'm in when I go to the parks and I feed a squirrel, I feel close to God. I think squirrels are a blessing from the Lord. Okay. And I socialize them. I give them free peanuts. Okay. Let's see how much you conservatives like that. I give them free peanuts. I never charge them. I would vote for a squirrel over Trump any day. Because all I got to do is listen to Trump talk for 5 minutes and I want to throw up. That's true. And every time I hear someone support him, I think, I can't wait till this person meets the Lord and there's judgment day. And he's standing between a guy who committed adultery on his wife when she was pregnant and a squirrel. A guy who's a bully and a squirrel. I'll tell you this. I think that squirrel is going to get through the pearly gates. And the deplorables, I don't know, man. It's going to be close. Going to be a close one. Let's continue to read. BVT, love T, brother. I switch parties. Now in the pizza party. Well, I'm not mad at that. Stay well, Sam. I love you. This too shall pass. Amen, brother. That's true. Pray sooner than later. Trump's mental health should concern all Americans. It does. He seems to be getting worse by the day. So does Joe Biden. I'm fair. I think Joe Biden has dementia. I'm an honest person, guys. I don't lie to you. So, but you ask me, who would I rather have in my corner? A compassionate guy with dementia or an abusive father with dementia? I'll take the compassionate squirrel. I'll take Joe Biden. So, look, guys, I had to choose between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was easy because I don't stand with a guy like Trump. Okay. He's an abuser. He's a bully. That's all I need to know. I mean, beyond his policy, which I don't support his basic policy principles, if we had such a great economy, why do we have to bail out corporations before we bail out the people? Was $1,200 for each person a bailout? Was $2.2 trillion a bailout for the corporations better? Buying junk bonds? That's not capitalism. Capitalism is if someone takes on too much risk and the economy tanks, you lose. Because, guys, when the stock market goes up, does everyone get a dividend? When the stock market goes up, does everyone who's not in the stock market get a dividend? No, that's not capitalism. But when the stock market goes down and the Federal Reserve takes out debt as a country, every taxpayer has to pay off that debt, and we subsidize the corporations and the junk bonds, we prop the stock market up. So we socialize the stock market losses and we never share in the profits. That's a systemic failure of leadership and of this country. And it's a disgrace. Peppa Pig, great to see you. Hey, Sam. I'm so disgusted by Trump. Me and you on the same page, Peppa Pig. Especially when he's trolling Governor Cuomo. I agree. Because I really didn't see Cuomo attack him at all. So to me, for him to attack Cuomo, to me was a disgrace. Okay. And Cuomo, he called it like it was today. He goes, look, Trump is saying that we should be kissing his ass. He's doing his job. The job of the federal government, because people in New York are paying taxes, federal taxes. They have to supply what they need. And if Trump felt like there was too many ventilators, he shouldn't have got them. And if he did get them, then he should have said, look, I got too many. He's a leader. You take responsibility. If you don't kiss Trump ass, he's just like your abusive father or your abusive husband. He'll try to belittle you and bully you. I'll never stand with Trump. Never. 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 I choose a dead squirrel over Trump. That's true. I think we would do better as a country with a dead squirrel being a president. You say, Sam, that's impossible. Guys, we got 22 million Americans unemployed. 32,000 dead. I remember when Trump was pandering and say, look, if the inner cities think they got it bad, you got nothing to lose by voting for me. Well, guys, you got nothing to lose by voting for Joe Biden. How bad can the country get now? We're in a national lockdown. Trump was warned in January, in February. He did not stop domestic travel. You say, oh, Nancy Pelosi said come visit Chinatown. Guys, that's domestic travel. The only thing he shut down was international travel, all the way up to the end of March. And now he's trying to get everyone back early and telling the states to liberate themselves by disregarding his guidelines. It's a disgrace, in my opinion. Let's continue. And then he goes, especially when he was trolling. Yep, right now we need a leader, not a troll. That's true, Peppa Pig. We knew Donald Trump was a troll since day one, and he hasn't disappointed us. We knew he was a troll. He's a piece of shit. He was a deplorable. Hillary Clinton was 100% right. She should have doubled down on her comment. Trump is a deplorable, period. He'll never change, period. It's just what it is, guys. Mr. Smith, if Democrats wanted change, they would have stood behind Bernie. Well, I think that's a fair statement. I do. I was big on Bernie, me too, but I could agree with you. I'm so pissed that Bernie isn't the primary. I agree with you also. I'm not going to even vote. Well, I disagree with you with that. Colin Kaepernick didn't vote, and neither did Kanye West. And they both made a big deal about the election results. And what I can tell you is, guys, you got to vote. In my opinion, but do what you want. I agree with you, though. Bernie got robbed again. And I do agree with you. It's a bad decision. But I will vote. I guarantee that. Juliana, When I asked why I couldn't drop essential grocery items that drop the grocery items off to your mom, she needs them for her heart diet. Why I could drop off Easter and Mother Day gifts. Oh, that's a difference. Such hypocrisy. So Giuliano in Australia, she was allowed to drop off Easter gifts, but not essential food. That's interesting. Yeah, the only thing I could think of is that things have gotten a little bit worse since Easter. But I don't know. That's a weird policy. It's very tough right now to be in a nursing home. Heather, I have friends who are conservative and liberal. I consider myself an independent. I take people on case by case. Well, what do you think about Trump? Who did you vote for? Don't play both sides of the fence. Who did you vote for, and who are you going to vote for? Because, guys, guess what, guys? I don't like people who play the fence either. I consider them deplorables. Stan, USA is a corporate military dictatorship. It's pretty close, Stan. That's true. BBT, anyone with a working brain that reads can tell Trump dropped the ball and he wants to blame someone else. Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's true. Instead of his own mistakes. I appreciate that, BBT. I feel the same way. And to me, I wouldn't even crucify Trump for that because I didn't crucify him in the beginning of the pandemic. I could totally understand how someone would get the memo and say, look, let's see how it plays out a little bit because this is very unique, happens every 100 years. But then to see how he has progressively handled it worse and worse and blamed other people, that makes me upset. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? I could totally say, look, he's doing the best he can. And I said that in some of my live feeds. Like, look, you know, the guy's doing the best. But he'll talk nice one day and then the next day he'll be an asshole like he was today. And that makes me upset. Affinity. Crazy folks, Sam. Well, you damn right, brother. And thank you for your tips, brother. I appreciate that very much. God bless you, Infinity 1999. Thank you. BBT, I respect free speech. Thank you. Speak it, Sam. Thank you. Not mad about the truth, and anyone shouldn't be either. Thank you. If people can't listen to an opposing opinion, they have a closed mind. Well, thank you, BBT, and I want to be fair. I'm at the point as well, though, I don't want to hear really anyone defending Trump. So I have to be honest about that. I was willing to at certain points, but now I'm at a point where it's just too much of a recurring pattern with him. But I do appreciate your positive comment, and I thank you. Easy Rider Sam, hey, what's up, brother? Infinity, thank you again, brother, for your graciousness. I'm for the Second Amendment, but I'm just not for that above humanity, okay? I'm not above, no, the First Amendment right is the freedom of press. So every time I hear fake news, you're trying to oppress the First Amendment right. Every time I hear that you don't want the NFL players to take a knee, that's their First Amendment right. So if someone says they love their Second Amendment but not their First, I say they're not a real patriot. They're probably dodged a draft like Trump. Giuliano, the manager got nasty. Oh, that's not good. But just remember, the manager of a nursing home, they're going through a trying time now, too. You have to understand that. She goes, the manager of the elderly home got nasty with her because I was asking her hard questions. They're in a tough position right now. There's a lot of stress. She's covering her butt. Oh, I'm sorry, Giuliano, you erased that. I got the gist of it, though. Giuliano, I don't blame you. I don't really blame you at all. I could totally understand your fear, your frustration. And I could probably understand the nursing home. Nursing home, a nasty place, man. Even before the coronavirus. I remember I delivered DoorDash down South Florida to a nursing home. And it's a tough place to be, man. Even when there's no national emergency, it's a tough place to be. Giuliano, I love you. I respect you. And I respect your mother. I'm going to pray for both of you. And I'm going to pray for the nursing home. Love to you and your family. I really do have compassion. Because I think about that right now. If my mom was in a nursing home, that would be tearing me up. So I have compassion for all the 17 people in New Jersey died in a nursing home the other day. And they put them all in like this one room because they didn't have any place to put them. Very sad. Easy Rider. I got you on the super chat once Trump said, send me the money back. I called and say, show me the money. Good, I'm glad you did. But they hung up and blocked me. Well, brother, you keep calling back, but you spend that money on you too. And I appreciate you, brother. God bless you, Easy Rider. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. G Noda, thumbs up for you, Samuel. Thank you for everyone who clicks that thumbs up. I appreciate that, guys. Let's see if we can get up to 100 thumbs up. I appreciate it's free. Chris, things will never change until we collectively take control of our own lives. I agree with that. I do. Guys, I believe in self-accountability. Like, look, guys, I got myself out of obesity. I've worked my entire life. I've never collected government assistance, okay? So for me, I can speak on it. I got family members that are both on government assistance. Okay, my mom worked minimum wage jobs for most of her life till she was 70. So for me to speak on the middle class, I can do it because, guys, I've worked my whole life, okay? And I've spent time in lower class and upper class. And what I could tell you is right now, the system is geared only to the wealthy, okay? And if you don't realize that, you are part of the problem, okay? And bottom line is, if you don't like me, I don't like you either. So just go on upon your own way. Infinity 1999. It's amazing how people forget what someone really is. Yeah, Trump has always been a person who dodged a draft, who's had divorces, who married immigrants, and who has been a contentious, nasty, disrespectful person who cheated on his wife. So now to find out that he's a nasty, disrespectful, dodging accountability person is no surprise, because he was a deplorable then, he's a deplorable now, and all the people who support him will be the same way until the day they die. Why? I don't know why, just the way the world is. Stan? Trump Kool-Aid is strong in those lacking critical thinking. Guys, I could totally relate to that. Some people supported Obama blindly too. However, I never heard Obama be as divisive as Trump. Okay. Now, some racists thought Obama was divisive. Okay. Because for them, okay, anything that didn't pander to how they want life, that was divisive. Okay. Because believe me, guys, a lot of people who support Trump, they're a certain mindset and they're never going to change. They come from a generation, okay, where women were just getting their rights, minorities were just getting their rights. And they want to go back to that. Okay, they do. Trump is a nasty person. I remember the Central Park Five. Okay. 5 people in Central Park were charged with a rape of this woman. Okay. Trump took out an ad in the paper and said these 5 men, this is when he was living in Trump Tower, not working as a middle class man, elite. He said these guys we should take the death penalty back and we should give them a death penalty. He never heard the facts of the case. He was in no position to do that, but he did it. Years later, DNA proved that these 5 guys, even if they were bad guys, they didn't do the rape. He never said he was sorry. He's an abuser, slightly racist, slightly prejudiced. Why? Guys, if you look through his history, who is he as a man? And what type of man would support that type of man? Only someone who's similar in mindset. So guys, we knew who Trump was back during the Central Park Five. Divisive, nasty, unfair, unjust. If he doesn't get his way, he takes out an ad in the paper and asks for the death penalty. He's a deplorable. That's true. Hillary Clinton was 100% right. That's why she lost, because she didn't double down on that. She apologized for it. Trump won because he didn't apologize. He kept hammering at Hillary Clinton. That's, I think. Easy Rider. I would love for Trump to make a decision on putting $5 in gas or eating a day. He'll never have to do it. He never paid for health care. He never had a boss. He never had any financial worries in his life. He's the most elite president ever. He can never relate to the common man. However, he knows how to pander to the common man. And usually his voting demographic are that of such. No. Mr. Smith, if you don't vote, then you are helping a maniac and a narcissist have 4 more years. I do agree. Yeah, guys, if you don't vote, Every election in America, only 50% of the population vote. No matter who it is, Obama, Bush, Trump, don't matter. In the greatest democracy, only 50% of the population vote. So it shows you right there, most people are apathetic. They're indifferent. They're neutral. They're the type of person, they go at Starbucks and they don't know what they want to order. So what they do is they just walk out of Starbucks because they get so overwhelmed. They're the type of person, their siblings are fighting and they have to take a side, and they don't take a side because they want to be loved. They want to be neutral. They're the type of person that they see something bad happening in society and they keep their mouth shut because they don't want to be bothered. They're neutral. There's a difference between being independent and being a passive, apathetic person that would have let women continue to have no rights, would have continued to let minorities have no rights because they would have kept their mouths shut. The silent, independent, apathetic, pathetic, low self-confident person will never take a side. They are as much part of the problem than anyone else in society. Always have been, always will be. That's fact. Stan, choose the guy who will take care of you and your Social Security. Guys, without Social Security, there would be mass destitute. So for me, I don't know why universal health care, increased Social Security, and increased social programs wouldn't be a top priority. But what do people want? They want to increase military spending. They want to increase government subsidies. And they want to help farmers. Guys, farmers don't hire middle-class Americans. They hire immigrants at low wages with no health care. Have you ever met a farmer? Okay. So that's what I'll tell you. Josh, hey Nomad, what are your thoughts on people who live in a storage unit? Do you think it's unethical? I wouldn't do it, yes, because it's illegal. I researched living in a car, and what pushed me over the edge to being able to do it was it's legal as long as you park legally. Whether it's at a campground, truck stop for the certain amount of time you're allowed, or whatever. You can legally live in your car as long as you comply with the rules of where you park. So I would not live in a storage unit because you're doing something illegal. I don't think you would ever get arrested. I don't think it's like dodging the draft or not paying your taxes or whatever. I just think you're going to get in trouble and no reason to make your life harder. So that's my opinion. Gino Nito, I am out of thumbs, but if I had more, I'd give you more thumbs up. Well, I appreciate that. Chocolate Chip Mint, hey, Chocolate Chip Mint. Love to see you. I see that you went live the other day on YouTube and you did I don't know what it was called, like a simple chat. I got to check out that video. Love to you, Chocolate Chip Mint. BBT. Josh, why would it be unethical? Because it's illegal. If you're not breaking the law, he would be. Hurting someone, he would not be hurting anyone. Wouldn't it be? Nah, it would be illegal. So guys, look, if you want to do it, but I'm not going to co-sign it because I don't want to see you get in trouble. So guys, I try to avoid doing things illegal. It's not a big deal. I wouldn't make a citizen's arrest. I'm not saying everyone doesn't, but for me, I wouldn't recommend that way of living because then you're going to get yourself in trouble. How are you doing today? Overall, I had a good day. I got a little bit upset with Trump because he basically trying to instigate riots, and I think he's a disgrace to humanity, but other than that, it's positive. How was your day, Queen? AI Gaming, shout out to Canada. They got universal healthcare, a great economy, and great unity. Conspiracy culture went mainstream because Republicans mimic Trump in cult-like fashion. I agree. Makes it easier for him to confuse his sheep. AI Gaming, all I can tell you is love and respect to Canada. If you guys had warm weather and Latino MILFs, I would be in Canada tomorrow. I saw a Canadian girl who does a blog on YouTube. She's hot. I think she's French. I would have sex with her. That's true. Chargement. Hello, Sam and everyone. Great to see you, Chargement. Josh. BVT. I believe in many states, technically, it's illegal. That's true. Chargement. Hello, everyone. Great to see you, Chargement. Forgive me for saying the name. Oh, Brenda. Hey, Brenda. You tell them. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Love your channel. Thank you, Brenda, for the positive comment. Love to you also. BVT. Josh. Being homeless is legal. Good point, Josh. Good point. Thank you, BBT. I love you, BBT. Appreciate you. Apathy. Hey, Apathy. And Apathy. See, I always say Apathy, but her real tag name is Apathy Sucks. So she's saying that being indifferent, being neutral sucks. So that's, you got to remember that when I say apathy. Her full tag name is Apathy Sucks. She's saying that, look, you got to decide in life who you're with. Hey, Sam, very, very scary time. It is. And the last thing we need is our leader making things harder than it needs to be. Because, guys, I didn't wake up today and say, oh, I want to bash Trump. I got no desire. But when I saw his tweets today about liberate this, liberate that, this state should go, what kind of man is that, man? I mean, my mom is legit scared, man, okay? You know, all the elderly people, unless they voted for Trump, they're scared. If they voted for Trump, guys, they're deplorable. I hate to say it. Fucking hate to say it. Let's stay positive. Let's work together. I'm trying the best I can. Trump is saying that they are liberating. That's a disaster. Liberating and being mindful of social distancing. He's crazy. Apathy, you called it a long time ago. Lala, hey, Nomad. How are you doing? Great, Lala. Great to see you, Zach. Jay Burr, what's up, brother? He goes, Josh, don't you have a storage unit that you can take a shower in? I was thinking of doing that too. Be careful, Jay Burr, because it's illegal. I don't want you to get in trouble. Brenda, Biden just needs an extra great vice president. Get AOC. Hopefully he will get one, and Biden worries me. That's true, guys, but even if it was Weekend at Bernie's, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Weekend at Bernie's, and it wasn't Bernie Sanders. It was Tom Selleck. Even if Bernie Sanders got propped up by Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi was in the background, I don't give a shit, okay? Because, guys, if you said, Sam, you have a choice between Nancy Pelosi and Trump, who do you pick? I pick Nancy Pelosi, okay? So I choose. And I don't care if it was a dead squirrel. I would rather them be the president than Donald Trump. That's true. Beauty. I know a guy that does it, but doesn't advertise it. He has a P.O. box, so people don't know it. I've never said anything. He's a nice guy and does lawn care and seems nice. I don't judge him. Yeah, I wouldn't judge anyone like surviving. You know, obviously, I do the same thing. But I also would not recommend you do something illegal because I just don't want you to get in trouble. That's true. Chris, how are you going to just ignore Biden's group of young girls, though? Well, easy, because bottom line is Trump has just as many skeletons in the closet. So did Hillary Clinton. So, guys, if I have to choose between two people who Trump said grab their pussy, how are you going to ignore that? Guys, we got two choices to make. I choose the more civil. I choose the person with the better policies, with the better temperament, with the better way of life. Okay? So, guys, did you ignore grabbing by the pussy? Did you ignore that he cheated on his wife? Did you ignore the fact that he hires foreign workers in Mar-a-Lago? Fuck you, okay? Fuck you, okay? That's what I'll tell you. George Schmidt, dead squirrel. I'd vote for that. 1999, disgrace and total disaster. Yeah. Michael, what do you think about Pence? He's more civil than Trump. I'll give him credit. Boring, but I would rather Pence than Trump. I'm honest with you guys, right? So if you say, Sam, I got to choose between Biden and Trump, I'm choosing Biden. If we were in a world where we can only vote for Pence or Trump, who would I pick? I would pick Pence. Now, if it was Pence or Biden, I would pick Biden. Why? Because I believe in the Democratic policies more, okay? Policies matter, not the people. But I'm fair, too. If I had no other choice, I would still choose. I would choose Pence over Trump. Yep. Juliano, they have a big outbreak in an elderly care not far from my mom's facility, which scares me, and children of the residents are now suing. It's going to be a disaster. BT. Hashtag squirrels. I like the squirrels. Just want to have fun. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I would. Now, I don't know if I would watch squirrel porn, though. They want to have fun. Oh, squirrels just want to have fun. I remember that song. The phone rings in the middle of the night. Good job. Judge Smith says fake news, laughing good. Mr. Smith, Sam, drain the swamp. I'm trying the best I can. There's a lot of leeches out there, man. There's a lot of them out there, man. Nathan, how is Showgirl's door doing? I don't know. Thank you, Nathan. She left a comment today. I'm not going to ask her about it again. She may be watching now. I wanted to make that video because it was from the heart, from my soul. That's what I felt. But once I address something, I'm going to let it be with a personal situation, because I don't like to ask people like too much of their personal business, because that's a hard thing, man. So I've been there though in life. That's why I want to share on a little bit. But keep her in prayer. That's all I say. Because that's not easy to be a parent, man. And it's not easy. Thank you, Nathan. Giuliano, I never want to be in a nursing home. That's a hard thing. That's why I look at now, should I get a home base now for when my mom would get elderly and she can't live on her own. Look, I wouldn't want to put my mom in a nursing home. Obviously, if she had like if she was that sick that I couldn't care for her, you have to, because you can't care for someone that needs full-time care, unless you're retired yourself. So even if you're retired yourself, you may not be qualified to give full-time care, depending on their age, illness. Guys, getting old is a hard part of life, man. It really is. And our elderly are scared right now. So it's a tough thing. Joan, heart emoji. Thank you, Joan. BBT, Joan Wibby. Peace emoji. Mr. Smith, Sam 2020. Make nomads great again, guys. I'm going to open up the campgrounds. I'm going to reopen America. 99.9. Let's make it rain. So I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that very, very much. Infinity. I appreciate you, brother. God bless you, man. That's all I can tell you. You've been a blessing to me. I appreciate your couple of super chats here, man, and all your love. Mr. Smith, thank you. Infinity, you've been a blessing to me, and I thank you. I thank you. Josh, got it, Nomad. I don't think living in a storage unit is good either. I'm enjoying living in my car. Do you think it's ethical for me to at least take a quick 20-minute sponge bath? Yeah. Yeah, because you're allowed in your storage unit during the operating hours. I looked into a storage unit if I ever bought an RV and I didn't want to have it in the winter in Florida because there was no RV parks. So in most storage units, you're allowed to go into your storage unit between the normal business hours, like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you go in your storage unit, whether you masturbate or take a sponge bath, as long as your doors are locked and you're in private, that's your storage unit. So obviously, I don't know if they have cameras inside there. I don't think they do. But use discretion. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that because that's not illegal, from my understanding. Josh, every 2-3 days, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. EC, Trump won using the drain the swamp, which was a mislead, and make America great slogan true, to delude hurting and angry middle and lower class people voting for him. Yeah, now you got 22 million people unemployed, and even when the stock market was an all-time high, were the middle and lower class people really getting ahead? I don't know. EC, now he has become the swamp monster and is increasing the profits of the politicians. He is. And who stay silent and destroy America. Trump needs to be out. I agree with you, and I thank you for that comment. Easy. So true about farmers. We lost our tobacco plots due to others hiring illegal workers. That's what farmers do. Cheap. That's what Mar-a-Lago. Guys, Trump's resort hires foreign workers. So how anyone can say that he really wants to bring jobs back to America while he hires foreign workers is a totally deplorable person, because it's like crazy. Let's continue to read Easy Rider. And he goes, farmers are going to hire cheap labor, built barns with washers and dryers, refrigerators for them to live in. Yeah, it's just like in China. It's like basically a sweatshop, man. Good comment, Mr. Smith. Is neutral really apathy? In my opinion, yes. Some people are neutral due to a lack of understanding. I don't buy it. I didn't even buy it when my mom tried to play neutral. I believe it's a lack of self-confidence and they're unwilling to be blamed. Guys, look, you got to make a decision. Now, even if it's wrong, I'd rather someone say, look, I'm going to vote for Trump if I feel it's wrong, But I don't know, to me, how you can evaluate two policies first, then the people. I do agree that most people are not informed at a certain level, and certain people are born with a certain bias. But I believe the vast majority in the middle will only do something if, like, the fire is under their ass. Like, there's some people that'll never clean their house until a hot chick's coming over. And I was like that. Like, you know what I mean? You got dookie stains in your toilet bowl because you won't get off your ass until you have to. So most people who are apathetic and neutral, they won't do anything in their life until it affects them. Okay? So, like, a lot of women who voted for Trump, back in the day, those same women probably weren't even involved in the women's rights movement. They probably just played the sideline. They were willing to be passive. Same thing, so it's like there's a lot of people that will never get involved, even if it affects them. It's just a certain way human nature is. It's weird. All I can tell you is this. For those who are self-aware, get involved. Speak up. You don't have to be a political junkie. You don't have to always dwell on it. You shouldn't. But when you see something like you saw today, and to me it was a day of disgrace in America today. You had a president basically preaching civil war. Now, he did it in a way where he always does it. Where, I'm not really saying that, but he's implying that. Is a disgraceful man. And to me, it's not funny. It's not cute. Like, you could have said, like, in the beginning of Trump's presidency, like, this is cute, this is funny, and even I did. But it's not funny, man. It's abuse. Abuse of power and an unnecessary harm to the good of the country. I'd rather Biden be in office. True. That's how I feel. Let's continue. Good question, though. Giuliano, thanks per emoji for your prayer, Sam. I got a lot of respect for you, Giuliano, and I appreciate you. It's been a tough week. I can understand that. I hope you had a good week. Overall, I did, and I want to be thankful for that. Giuliano, I love you, and God bless everyone in Australia. I know it's late, and I appreciate you staying up with me. Let's take a hydration break. Put an Australia flag emoji in the live chat, and an American flag and a Canadian flag. I appreciate people who appreciate me. Thank you. Chris, because Trump does it too. Now that's apathy. Yeah, they're both guilty for it, man. Like I say, I vote for policy and I vote for people. There's no perfect policy and there's no perfect people. So I take the best of the circumstance. Like sometimes I don't want to eat animals. I want to eat plant-based diet. And especially nowadays where all these restaurants are closed. Like I go into a gas station, I'm trying to find a plant-based diet and I don't. So what do? I choose the best option, which is like lean chicken or lean fish, okay? I prefer to have tofu and beans, okay? But if I go in the store and they don't have tofu and beans, then I have to choose the least saturated fat and the most health conscious meat, okay? I don't go in the gas station and say, let me get your burrito with steak, beef, and pork, okay? So guys, if I go to make an election decision, look, I prefer AOC over Joe Biden. I prefer Bernie Sanders. I prefer someone even better than them, to be honest with you. But if I have to choose between Donald Trump, which is a burrito with a bunch of shit in it, and Joe Biden, which is like a brain-dead fish, I'll take the brain-dead fish. I'm choosing my best option for me, okay? So that's how I look at life. Beauty. Chris, bye. Sam's going to turn. I didn't block him because I just read one of his comments. I didn't want to take him out of context, which it sounds like I didn't, and that's why I didn't block him. Chris, I didn't show him disrespect. He's not in the mood for any BS. I'm not, but I didn't feel like Chris said any BS, so I didn't block him. And he's still in here now, and I'm reading it. I'm fine with that. Yeah. So I don't block everyone. And just because I block you don't mean anything. It just means we're not on the same page. But Chris, I still see you. I read your comments, and I haven't disrespected you yet. And I don't feel like you disrespected me yet, so we're still good. Cone 20. When are you heading back to Florida? That's a good question. Well, let me answer that question by I will block you. So, BBT, you missed this guy. He's another deplorable. I'm going to send him back right now. See if I can find him. BBT, how'd you miss this guy? Let's see. Oh, that's Josh. Chocolate chip mints in here. Let's see here. I'm getting to it right now. Goodbye. Josh, thanks, Nomad. I'll make sure to stay discreet. Good job, brother. Forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's in different writing. We give Trump $400 billion 2 years ago. Saudi Arabia, dude. Guys, they're all in bed. Saudi Arabia, Russia, even China. All the elites are in bed with each other. So, bottom line is, that's the case with all political parties. That I'll be fair with. So, all I could do is choose my best option based on what I know. I think every country is ran by elites. Okay. And I think they're all in cahoots. Okay. Because I think there's good people in China. I think there's good people in Saudi Arabia. I think there's good people in Israel. I think there's good people in Pakistan. I think there's good people in Canada. I think there's good people in America. I think most people are good and decent. I think the people who run the world are only able to do so through a level of division and hoarding of resources. And mainly of hoarding of resources. So, for me, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Like, I got to worry about someone. No, I'm sure there's assholes in Saudi Arabia. I'm sure there's assholes in America. I know it's true. There's assholes everywhere. But I try to make the point that they're all the big dogs are in bed with each other a little bit. Like right now, like Trump says, like he's mad at China, but him and China in bed, man. Him and Putin, they're all in bed. So I don't get in between people having like a domestic dispute. I'll call the cops because I don't want to see someone get hurt. But I won't get directly involved unless I had to protect someone because they're going to end up back together. I've seen it in my life and I've seen it in geopolitical politics. So I think it's all a little bit corrupt. That's true. Sam, when you have a chance, check out the book of ours. Okay. YouTube channel. Okay. Excellent thinking person's view of the country and the world as we creep toward something future. Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I watch like news presses and some political videos, but I really don't watch that much political stuff. But when I saw Trump's Twitter today, I said, this guy's a disgrace to the country. That's what I said. Mrs. Smith, most women voted for Trump to make their husband happy. Most, maybe, and some women voted for Trump because they got low self-esteem and they date a guy like Trump. To me, I've never met in my life, I've never met a woman that has self-respect, self-esteem, and has dated a guy like Trump. I've met many women that have low self-esteem, and vote for a guy like Trump. Now, I want to be fair. I met some good people on YouTube, some girls, some hot girls. They voted for Trump. And to be honest, I think some of the conservative women hot. I would fuck them. However, I wouldn't grab them by the pussy. That's the difference. Okay. So I would have sex with a conservative girl, but I wouldn't grab her by the pussy because I'm not an abuser. So, that's how I bounced up. Michael, you think there is any connection between the U.S. having the most cases and the fact that everything here is made in China? It's possible. Again, Trump has been in office for 4 years. When he was negotiating the trade deal, why wasn't he talking about making the iPhone in America, making prescription drugs in America? He was talking about he wants Chinese to buy more pork. He wants to protect the farmers who already hire illegal immigrants. Farmers don't hire middle-class Americans. Just like Trump. Trump hires foreign workers. So guys, I don't buy that Trump was trying to change the trade regulations. Because if I was the president, I wouldn't even be talking to China. I would call the CEO of Apple in my office, in the White House. And I would say, hey, look, I don't give a fuck what China's doing. We're going to pass legislation that you have to make the iPhones in America that you sell to Americans. You can make iPhones in China, but you got to sell them to China. You settle that shit right there. And if you don't like that, Tim Cook, we ain't bailing out Wall Street anymore. Matter of fact, I'm going to put some restrictions. I'm going to tariff. I wouldn't tariff China. I would tariff Apple. I would tariff every damn company in America that doesn't hire with a middle-class wage with healthcare benefits. I solved the problem without having any problem with China. But they'll never do that because there's a G7, a G8, and Trump has been in office for 4 years and he didn't change it. I remember Obama called Steve Jobs when he was still alive in the White House, and he asked Steve Jobs, how do I bring the iPhones back to America? And Steve Jobs said, oh, it can't be done. It's not going to be done. Steve Jobs is a disgrace to America. That's what I think. These people that say they love the country, they sold out our country, including Trump. And if you're going to sell out the country, fine, at least keep the peace. I understand the power of the dollar bill. I strip on YouTube. I got to get the money too. But I block people that super chat me that are a disgrace. But many people don't. That's true. BBT. Muhammad Alarian, is that true? You know how to pronounce his name? I didn't. He goes, yes. Keeping up, Bree. Hey, Sam, love to you also, Bree. God bless you. Happy late birthday again. Bree turned 25 yesterday. Muhammad, I guess is your name. Trump visited us here in Saudi Arabia, and we give him a lot of money. He came back to you saying jobs, jobs, jobs. Look, America and Saudi Arabia have always been in bed for oil. So that goes beyond Trump. It was with Bush, everyone else. And it is what it is. I know people who worked in Saudi Arabia. Like I say, to me, I look at Saudi Arabia the same way I look at any other country. Every country has good and bad people. And every country leverages their resources to hang it over someone else's head, including America. Like I say, I don't blame China in one sense because America, we have a CIA. We have spies. So if we have this great intelligence program with drones and satellites, we showed satellite images of Iran with mass graves. So how did we know that, but we didn't know about the China outbreak? So I think a little bit of it is it's a political game. I don't really trust any of the leaders anywhere. I think most of the people in the countries are controlled by the powers to be. But I have a extreme dislike when a country does not provide basic services for its people and when the leaders cause unnecessary division and strife for their own failings. So that's how I look at it. 11. Wasn't that money for guns? I don't know. But guys, money rules the world. How did we end the war in Afghanistan and Iraq? We paid the tribal leaders to keep the peace. So we gave Iran billions. But guys, we give Israel billions. We give Saudi Arabia billions. Guys, we give every country billions. It's all a money game, guys. So for me, I'm not offended that we give other countries money or vice versa because it's all a game. So to me, I just look at it as I think all of the human population, not divided by country, but by humans, are regular people trying to earn a living and live a good quality life without war. I think there are people in power that want to hoard the resources and cause division amongst countries and amongst their own country to keep power. Like right now, why did Trump tweet liberate certain states in America today? To keep his power. That was it. It had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, nothing to do with China. His tweets today were based around keeping his power amongst Americans. That was it. So, you know what I mean? It's all like an emotional game. Muhammad, covered by guns, and we know it was a big lie. Well, guys, Ronald Reagan did the same thing. right? So we were mad at Trump. We were mad at Obama because he gave Iran billions. Reagan gave the Contras millions of dollars to fight against the Russians in South America. So there's nothing new under the sun. Michael, Trump talks about how strong our dollar is. What a joke our dollar is. And how they have the greatest economy in the world, but never mentions how much debt the country's in. Guys, we just took on basically, we took on about 30 to 40% more debt in the past couple of weeks than we did in a decade. And not to get universal health care, not to increase the middle class, to give you a one-time $1,200 check and to bail out Wall Street, to buy junk bonds. That's a disgrace to humanity. It is. BBT says, enjoy the weekend, everyone. Let's end on that positive note. Thank you, everyone, for watching. God bless you. I appreciate you. Stay positive and keep pushing forward.